Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Wake up all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. Wake up, everybody!
I am Miss Community Clovia, and we've been saluting our military, and we just appreciate you for all of your service and all of the armed forces. But today we're saluting the United States Army. Hi! Yay. Woo woo! And also, we're saluting the women in the United States Army. We have Staff Sergeant Rosalinda Solis joining us. Rosie, we're going to call you for the rest of the show. Sergeant First Class Mandy Foster.
Good afternoon.
I just love that accent. And then we have Staff Sergeant Charles Countryman. How are you?
All right, how you doing?
We always got to have a man on board. And the first thing I want to do whenever I think about our U.S. military, not only during this month of Military Appreciation Month, what type of man or woman who would physically dig in the trenches to keep us safe in our free country? Who does that, Rosie?
That would be me. I was not physically fit when I decided to make the decision to serve my country. I had just had a kid, at least 6 months after I had my daughter. A couple months later, I decided to join. Before I had my child, I was nice and perm fit and everything. But
right.
The first day of basic, oh my gosh. I did one sit-up, probably like 11 push-ups, and I did my 2 miles in like 23 minutes. So it built me up to it. So now I'm ready. Now I'm Army strong. So
you joined the military after you became a mother.
Yes.
Again, so I could do this, I could do that, I could be a stay-at-home mom, and I decide to join the military, the U.S. Army.
Correct. I had no choice. I was working at the dollar store. Wasn't really making enough money to support my child. So since I had my father in the military, my brother was in the military, and I see where they grew up and what they had, that was the only other option for me. Because I didn't have the college degree, I didn't have the money to do it, I didn't have that motivation, that strive, that discipline that I needed, that I knew the Army could give to me, that given to my family.
Who supported your child when you left for the military?
Her father did.
Okay.
Her father did. I sent money because they let you have the time so you can make sure your family always comes first. But there were times, that I was worried, about her because I wasn't able to see her every single day. But I knew that was a sacrifice that I needed to make, not only for my country, but for my family. So that was really big. That's what made me achieve and go above and beyond just to keep on at it.
To sacrifice.
To sacrifice for my family.
Sacrifice yourself, your family, to keep someone protected that you may never meet.
Right.
Wow, what a tall order.
Yes, it is. It is a tall order.
And I have like thousands of questions because this is a big deal to me, women being in the military.
Right.
Women who say, I'm going to protect and serve my country. I want everyone in the United States and abroad. If I can keep you safe and protected, this is what I want to do.
Right.
And a mother can do it really big, right?
Exactly. 3 kids later, of course.
3 kids later.
Yes.
So how do your kids feel about you being in the military?
They're whenever I walk into their schools, they're so excited. It's like, oh, look,
with your fatigues on,
yes,
in uniform?
Yes. They say, oh, look, it's a soldier. And then they come rushing up, hey, Mom. They give me a hug, say, this is my mom. And they're so proud. My oldest child, she's not really into the Army type, but my middle one, she's that athletic type. You ask her what she's going to be when she grows up, she's going to tell you she's going to be in the Army.
She's going to be in the Army?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It's just something about soldiers that are walking in that uniform. It's like, oh, and it just makes you feel protected.
Yeah.
I really do. I have a family of military background, and whenever my uncle would come home from the Marines in his blue suit, it's like, yes, he belongs to me. I know him. That's my uncle. But it's tough work and it's hard work to do. It's nothing that you can play with.
Right.
And you have to be focused.
Right.
You have to be physically fit.
Correct.
So how do you stay focused?
To be honest with you, the job that I do as a recruiter, it's the most satisfying job that I can ever ask. I have the best job where I'm able to change someone's life from that beginning stage and to see them progress into their military career and them still staying in contact with me and me seeing them and them telling me or asking me advice still to this day and writing me. That's the gratification. That makes my job the best job in the world.
So during your recruitment, sessions that you're having, what are some of the conversations you have for all of my listeners who are listening and parents were like, you're going to the military, you're going to the Army?
A lot of them aren't you scared of dying? I'm like, I can go outside and die.
Wow.
That doesn't mean anything. You know, I'm here serving a greater purpose. It's like, I'm not scared about that. I can't be worried about that every single day because I can go anywhere and that happened, no matter where you are.
So that is the mentality you take on. Correct. That I could walk out of my front door.
Anything can happen.
And I could die.
Mm-hmm. Anything can happen.
So that's not my top priority.
Correct.
When I'm serving.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
My top priority is taking care of my family and trying to enlist the most elite soldiers that I possibly can for the United States Army.
Wow.
That's what I love to do.
I see you love it.
I do. I have a passion for it. And especially when the parents come up to you and they give you a big old hug. It's like, oh, I'm so glad you did this for my son or daughter. Thank you so much. And they're crying. You get the goosies. I love getting the goosies, especially when they passed the test and they were struggling. So I was like, yes, they passed the test. Let's go to the next step.
This is good. This is good stuff. And again, I just want to go back, you know, in the uniform, and I just visualize this uniform and you're a soldier. And how does it make you feel when you're walking down the street, you know, at your children's school or you're at the mall?
Right. Well, I know
It's a humbling experience.
Yeah, it's humbling. I stand out. I stand out a lot. And then I'll be walking with my children. Someone just comes up to me, whether it be in a grocery store or in a line. Thank you for your service. I'm like, thank you, ma'am, so much. At first, it was hard to get used to, but now it's like I'm really honored for someone to come out their way to shake my hand or to buy me breakfast, to buy me lunch, or to hand me money. I was like, whoa, I'm doing this for you guys, but you don't have to pay me. I already get paid good money now.
Let's not get it twisted.
It's like, but I'll give you a hug, and I'll accept the hug.
Okay, so you enlisted in the military in U.S. Army when? At what age?
I was 22 years old, October 27th of 2002. I came into the United States Army.
And you're making a career out of it?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I have to.
Wow. And as far as recruitment is, again, what are some of the benefits of enlisting into the United States Army?
Well, for me, I was diagnosed with lupus 2.5 years ago. And lupus is an autoimmune disorder where basically your body attacks all the good cells in your body. Me being in the military, in the Army, has helped me with my condition. Because being a civilian and seeing all the specialists that I have to see, I couldn't afford that. It's just too many doctors and too many doctor's appointments. But the Army has the best doctors, has the best physicians that are able to help me so I can get my condition under control. Not everyone can say that, but the Army can say that. They've helped me so much. Along with, we have a program, EFMP, Essential Family Members Program. My daughter has a heart murmur. She's having surgery June 4th to get it repaired at the Ronald McDonald House. The Army's paying for it, for me to drive down, or me and my husband to drive down there. Everything is being taken care of. As a civilian, that would cost thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah. With no additional assistance if you didn't have the health care insurance.
Exactly. And then my husband, he was deployed. He has ulcerative colitis, and he was medevac back, so he was medically retired. And then my middle child, she has ADHD, which is slight autistic Asperger's disorder. And she sees 2 different specialists. My husband sees 3 different specialists. So me and my husband,
it takes care of your family.
It takes care of my family extremely well, especially having the best doctors out there for the military to help my children and my family out. I couldn't ask for anything better because it would cost way too much money. Or I wouldn't even know where to start to find the means in order to have that kind of assistance in trying to help my family if I was in the civilian world. It would just be too hard for me.
Wow, that's good stuff. That's a great story, Rosie.
Well, thank you.
We're going to take a break and come on back. All right, we have Sergeant First Class Mandy Faulkner. She's going to come on back. Our women in the military, the U.S. Army. Stay close. I know you want to enlist. Yeah. This is Community Conversations. I am Miss Community Clovia for the Stone Soul Weekend. And I'm truly honored to have on the show, we have the United States Army. It has been Military Appreciation Month, also Women's Health Month, and we had Rosie on. Now we're back with Sergeant First Class Mandy Faulkner. How are you?
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having us here.
Why did you join the military?
Well, I joined the military actually when I was 17 years old. I was actually a senior in high school. My father raised me, so my father always taught me never to limit myself just because whether you're a female, your gender, race, anything like that, never limit yourself. So I always wanted something better for me than what my family had. growing up in the home that I grew up in, my family was very poor. I was the only child, but I didn't have much growing up. And no one in my family ever even graduated from high school, let alone college. So for me, this was such a great challenge and something to take on to know that the United States Army could help me achieve those goals that otherwise maybe I couldn't once I graduate high school, as far as achieving my college degree. And not only that, just serving my country and doing the great things that we do every day.
Where are you from, Mandy?
I am from Springfield, Tennessee.
I kind of figured it was somewhere
Yes,
down
ma'am.
south.
I know I got a little country twang going on.
It's cute, though. But you're fighting to keep me free of my country. I don't have a problem with your accent. And you were raised by your dad. Talk about that.
Yes, ma'am. I was actually raised with my father. My mother, she left at a very young age. So he did raise me. And my dad, he worked very, very hard to support me, to make sure that I did make it through high school. My dad was very stern. He was very strict. But I owe so much gratitude to him to this day. He actually passed away in 2010. He was only 47. He actually passed away to cancer. But it's been even, I think, more motivation for myself to fight that much harder, and just to prove to my father that I can do great things, and just to make him ultimately proud.
He's proud, definitely. And while you're listening to the show, please go to GoArmy.com. That's GoArmy.com. Or you can stop by the Willow Line Recruiter Center of the United States Army. Sergeant First Class Mandy Faulkner, how many tours did you do in Iraq or maybe Afghanistan?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I've been to Iraq twice and Afghanistan once.
Wow. At war?
Yes, ma'am. I've been over there, but I have to say it was really great, humbling experiences each and every time that I was there.
Really?
I feel fortunate that I'm one of the few 1% that actually gets the chance to actually go over there and meet different cultures and just to get to help them out. Because ultimately a lot of people don't see that, but when we're over there, we are actually helping others, and it's not all about war at the end of the day.
Yeah, we've read a lot about that. And then sometimes, when we were at war, it's like, splattered all over TV, but we never talk about the assistance that we do for the families while we're at war,
Right.
if you will. So at war, what is going on? It may be a crazy question because I'm a civilian. What is going on at war? Is there ever a break from war, or it's still active?
I mean, we're active over there. I want to say, I think I have one of the coolest jobs in the United States Army. My job, I'm a petroleum supply specialist. And basically what that is I fuel up helicopters and airplanes. I actually test the fuel. Again, how I said earlier, my father raised me, so I've always been a more hands-on outdoors person. Everybody has their own personality, but that for me, I loved it, and I think it was a great job, and I loved it doing it when I was over there.
When you're gassing up or fueling petroleum, if you will, the
Yes,
politically correct, I call it gassing up, ready to go. With the helicopter, what is happening?
Well, we have cold refuel and we actually have hot refuel, and the differences are, obviously with the cold refuel, the helicopter is shut down. We go up and we fill it up. With hot refuel, how that happens is we actually have a procedure, have all of our safety gear on. We actually run out to the helicopter a certain way. We're supposed to go into the helicopter. The blades are still moving.
Blades are still moving?
Yes, ma'am. They are. They are.
Okay.
We follow all of our safety procedures, hook up to the helicopter, fuel it up. Once it's filled up, we unhook, and pretty much good to go. But it's a really cool job. It's a great adrenaline rush. I love it.
Fueling a plane with the helicopter blades going. An adrenaline rush. Wow. For more information, all you have to do is go to GoArmy.com. If you're thinking about joining the United States Army, this is your chance to do it. Get all of the information you need. All we want you to do is get the information you need. You can stop by the Willow Line Recruiter Center.
Yes, ma'am.
Right up down the street a piece at Willow Line, or you can call 804-285-6690. That's 804-285-6690.
Yes, ma'am.
What would you like to say to that 17-year-old who's listening to the radio right now? I'm thinking about the military. I don't know. What should I do?
To that 17-year-old out there that just would like to have a better life, just wants a challenge in their life, just wants to show their family that they can do so much more, and that they can go out there and they can get that college education and they can serve their country all at the same time.
And it won't cost us as parents nothing.
No, exactly. What? It's not going to cost you anything.
You're going, Kenya. Mm-hmm.
You can come in the Army as active duty and get up to $76,000 just for a 3-year enlistment. We're talking about college, $76,000 worth of college paid for, and you really can't beat that. That's such a great deal. And then at the same time, you're having 100% health benefits taken care of, your dental's taken care of. I mean, everything is taken care of for you. And then the Army is also providing you for a place to stay. So you're not having to pay any rent, no electricity, anything. So it's really a great deal. And I would recommend to any 17-year-old out there, you know, to at least take the opportunity to come to our recruiting center and actually just sit down and talk with the recruiter, so we can at least talk with you about the great opportunities that we do offer.
When someone walks in, what is the first thing they say? I can imagine they're saying, I want to protect and serve my country. What should I do next? And you say,
you know, we have a lot of different personalities that come in. Some people that come in are ready to serve their country. There is a, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. Then we have others that come in that are more interested in, say, the Army Reserves, that want to take advantage of that full-time college. So they would be more interested in that. So it's different personalities that we always have. Everybody has their own different interests and reasons and why they want to join the Army.
Right, the United States Army. I'm just loving it. Our women in the military, the United States Army. Go to GoArmy.com. That's GoArmy.com. If you're thinking about enlisting, have questions, go to the Willow Lawn Recruiter Center or call 804-285-6690. We're going to take another break and come on back. We're going to talk about recruitment right after this. This is Community Conversations.